After nearly 4 decades of marriage, my wife cheated on me with our family doctor, then suffered a breakdown, believing I was gone. I orchestrated exposing her affair, confronted the families, and now our world has been turned upside down, but I still don't know if I can ever forgive her. TLDR, after 38 years of marriage, 3 grown married kids, and 5 amazing grandkids, my world imploded when I found out my wife had an affair with our doctor, then had a mental collapse and thought I'd died. She lied about going to a work conference. I got proof she was actually in Vegas with the doctor, then had to decide whether to blow up our family holiday or let it ride until after Christmas. The roller coaster hasn't stopped. I hired a lawyer, covertly gathered evidence, and finally confronted her and the doctor's wife. Turns out the fallout was even bigger than I expected. It rocked our families, sent my wife into hospitalization, and left me questioning everything I thought I knew about love, loyalty, and what to do when someone demolishes the life you built together. Now, I'm not sure I'll ever want her back. So, here's what happened. I never imagined, after nearly 40 years together, that my wife Charlotte, 60 female, would cheat on me. We'd made it through so much, raised 3 kids, Jason, 36 male, Emily, 33 female, and Megan, 28 female, all married, 5 grandkids, and I was 2 years from retirement, finally debt-free. She told me she was heading to an educators conference in Arizona. I dropped her off at the airport Monday, planning to pick her up that Thursday. A buddy of mine, Ben, 54 male, was in Vegas for a PBR event and just happened to spot Charlotte at a casino with Dr. Thomas, 63 male, our primary care doc for decades. He snapped a picture and texted it to me. It's Christmas time. All my kids are coming home, and I'd been looking forward to hunting trips with my son and grandsons. I was furious and devastated, but if I blew the lid off this, I'd destroy Christmas for everyone. I considered just picking her up at the airport and pretending everything was normal, gather evidence, and confront her after the holidays. Even as I thought about it, I didn't know if I was strong enough to play it cool. To make it worse, Charlotte had just sung a solo in church the day before she flew out, standing up there and acting the perfect wife while spending the week with the doctor in Vegas. For all these years, 40, I never suspected a thing. Sometimes, I wonder if the joke was always on me. With my parents gone and both my brothers having passed, I felt like there was nobody to talk to. Maybe my pastor, but hell, maybe she's having an affair with him too at this rate. Update 1. I hired an attorney this afternoon over a slice of pie at a diner and did things by the book. We met at his office, and he and his private investigator, Paul, 62 male, set out our options. I arranged for Charlotte's sister, Sarah, 58 female, to pick her up the next day. I went out to my camp for a few days. So far, I've kept this secret from Charlotte. Haven't confronted her or the doctor. Hard not to, but as long as I keep calm, I'm in a better place to protect myself and collect more evidence. I can't sue Dr. Thomas for alienation of affection, but I'm set on wrecking his future. Update 2. Tonight, I made the trip home from my camp. Charlotte's mother, Linda, 84 female, widowed for 12 years, would be devastated if she found out about her daughter's affair. Charlotte's 3 married sisters are all coming over for Christmas Eve. Ever since their father passed, I've grilled steaks for the family every Christmas. If I don't go home, they'll know something's up. I considered pretending I had the flu, but decided against it. Missing the traditions would mess up hunting plans with Jason and my grandsons, and I want to keep things stable for now. I haven't confronted Charlotte. We've spoken a bit, mostly by text. She doesn't seem to suspect anything. I gave the house codes to Paul. He and his IT guy somehow got access to Charlotte's desktop while she was at work, and apparently, he's getting her texts through my cloud now. Don't quite know all the tech magic, not my era, but it's getting done. I don't talk daily with the PI or attorney, but I'll meet up with them next Friday to see what new evidence they've got. I feel like I'm spending too much on the PI at this point, but the attorney advises to keep collecting proof until the confrontation. Every Christmas, I spend the week before and after out at my camp, so she won't suspect a thing when I leave again Sunday. Hunting with Jason and my grandsons is one bright spot. I hate how the love I felt for Charlotte has turned into seething hatred. My plan? I'll put all the evidence in a gift box for Charlotte to open last, right after Christmas lunch, when the whole family is here. I'll tell her to show everyone what's in her box, take her phone, and walk out. Next stop, Dr. Thomas's house, where I'll hand off the evidence to his wife and family. Then, I'll file for divorce on grounds of infidelity. Thank you all for listening. This has become my lifeline. Update 3. Got back from the camp last Thursday. Charlotte acted normal, but I was utterly exhausted. Barely spoke to her. Friday night, we had Christmas with her mom and 3 sisters at the house. I pulled it off, no suspicions. Spent all Saturday out, then back to the camp after church on Sunday. Jason and my oldest grandson joined me Sunday night, and we spent the week hunting. Now I'm home, with Christmas Day almost here. The whole family will come over for lunch and presents after church. I've kept myself calm enough that nobody suspects anything. But I've changed my mind about blowing things up on Christmas. Instead of confronting Charlotte on the holiday, I'll go through with my meeting with the attorney on Tuesday. I'll get all the evidence and the finalized divorce papers, then I'll have Jason and my daughters come for a family meeting. That's when I'll reveal everything to them, with Charlotte present. As for Dr. Thomas and his wife, I still plan to make sure his reputation is wrecked in whatever way possible. Thank you for the messages of support. They mean more than you know. Update 4. We made it through Christmas. Monday morning, I visited my pastor, Noah, 69 male, and told him all of it. He facilitated a meeting between me and Dr. Thomas's wife, Rachel, 61 female. We decided we'd each confront our spouses that night, making them write out a detailed account of the affair. I confronted Charlotte, told her I knew she was in Vegas, knew exactly who she was with. I demanded she write out every detail, told her if she contradicted the evidence, there'd be no shot at repairing anything. The next day, I met with the attorney to review the evidence and get advice. That afternoon, I met with Dr. Thomas's employer and demanded his immediate termination. He was fired that same day. That night, my kids came over. Charlotte told them all what she'd done. They were shocked, crushed. She left with Megan and has stayed there since. I'm still weighing what comes next. Reconciliation looks impossible. She confessed to every detail in her letter. Thank you for the support. I'm hanging in. Update 5. Let me answer a few questions. 1. Did I ask why? Of course. She said she didn't know. Told us she felt like she was addicted to the affair. Knew how much damage she was causing and still couldn't stop. She told the kids no child should bear the shame of what she'd done. 2. How did Charlotte act? Completely destroyed, remorseful, begging forgiveness from me and the kids. She knows how deeply she hurt us. 3. The kids' reactions. Jason told her. And the girls agreed. It would have been easier to bury you than deal with this. That hurt. 4. Do I want to stay married? I wanted that, which is why I was always faithful. Now, I'm not sure. Have I been in contact with Rachel, the doctor's wife? Yes, we've met twice and texted or called a few times. Do I care about ruining Dr. Thomas's family by having him fired? I care more about the next patient's wife he might go after. Am I divorcing Charlotte? I don't know. Have I gone to therapy? Not yet. What I need is for this pain to just disappear, and if you know anyone who can do that, sign me up. Maybe at some point I'll try therapy. Every family is different. Every story has its own quirks and heartbreaks. Who can say what's right when the world falls apart? People love to judge behind their keyboard, but most don't really understand what you're truly dealing with. A few Redditors have been a real lifeline, including one who's offered wisdom I can't thank enough. It's weird, finding a kindred spirit in a stranger. As for Megan, my youngest, that girl is a force. She'd never let rumors or lies twist things. She's spent her whole life at my side, on hunts, boats, at work, and she's making sure her mother can't twist the story. By the way, Charlotte's been staying with Megan and her husband at their new house, which has no kids yet. No way she can sway any of them against me. The first message between Charlotte and Dr. Thomas was some smarmy line about her being the most beautiful person in any room, starting at a family funeral. I never told her what I planned. Megan said her mom's phone is dead and she hasn't talked to anyone but the kids. I don't know if Charlotte realizes what's coming. Rachel called me after Dr. Thomas got fired and said she was going to go after Charlotte at her job too. I told Charlotte AP's wife knew and that she expected a detailed letter from Dr. Thomas, just like I demanded one from Charlotte. Update 6, a bit of family background. I had a brother, Patrick Late. Would have been 67M now, 14 years my junior, a college professor who died in a motorcycle accident in 2017. He had one daughter, Lisa, 24F, now married with a baby. I called my sister-in-law, Amy, 56F, to see when Lisa and the baby were leaving. With my kids smothering me at home, I decided to hit the road myself, needed a break from everything. I planned to meet my great-nephew, named after Patrick and me, arriving late that evening. I asked Amy if she could maybe book me a hotel, but she laughed and said, "No way, you'll stay here, we'll watch movies and eat ice cream together." I haven't spoken to or seen Charlotte since the night I confronted her. I've blocked her number. I called Jason, told him where I was going, and asked him to lease an empty house our company owns. Charlotte can move there, pay rent to Jason, who'll pay the company. I told him to let her know she can come get her stuff now, since I'm changing the locks and gate code soon. Update 7. When I told Amy why I was coming alone to see Lisa and her baby, she just said, "Tell me everything when you get here." I arrived near midnight. She just made a pound cake, the best thing I'd had in weeks. As I poured it all out to her, I finally broke down and wept. She let me cry and didn't judge, just comforted me. She set me a schedule, a haircut, new clothes. I've lost over 30 pounds in 3 weeks. A bonfire at her friend's, church, dinner with Lisa and her husband, hunting with her son-in-law on a massive timber tract, and no more talking about my problems until I leave. We went shopping. I looked like I'd robbed a department store, and she insisted I'd be her date for the party and church. At the bonfire, I played along with her stories, from Atlanta, selling road graders, married and divorced 4 times, and we had a blast. At church, we sat together. Left a little early. She didn't want lightning to strike for lying. It's the first time I've genuinely laughed since this all began. Meanwhile, my kids are communicating with Charlotte through Megan. She's not saying much, just staying in her room all day. Rachel sent Charlotte a brutal text, calling her every name but a child of God. I haven't spoken to Charlotte, but Megan says she asked where I was and told Megan she understood if I never forgave her. As for divorce, I'm not rushing. If and when I file, it'll be final, not looking to reconcile. If there's a divorce, I'll sue Dr. Thomas to offset the settlement. If not, I don't care about money from him. I've realized this won't end quickly, and my life will never be the same. I've started a journal to keep my head straight. Update 8. Yesterday, my daughters took Charlotte to the ER. She was dehydrated, confused, poor kidney function. She was admitted and started on an IV, with labs and a psych evaluation scheduled. They expect she may be in the hospital most of the week. Jason informed Charlotte's sisters. Her mother and sisters, far as I know, don't know about the affair. I'm still at Amy's, spark plug as we called her. Yesterday's activities: hunting in the morning, then skipping due to pouring rain. Dinner last night was classic comfort food, the kind I haven't tasted in a while. Amy told me to get dressed for some rambling, groceries, dry cleaning, paying bills, Home Depot, even a checkup at a nearby clinic. $112 and a quarter of an hour later, I'm clear of any STDs. Amy, in her practical way, said, "Ain't no man with junkie monkey staying at my house." Charlotte's kidney function is improving, but psych says she's had a full psychotic break. She's confused about where she is, thinks we were in a car accident and I died, is upset she missed my funeral, is crying and mumbling. She's now in a trauma-focused psychiatric hospital with no contact allowed for at least 10 days. Megan will be the point of contact for status updates. The whole thing is just an unnecessary, tragic mess. Amy made me a psychiatrist appointment, so that's next for me. While getting ready for bed, I realized all my old underwear had been replaced by boxer briefs in bright colors. Amy's handiwork, roasting me about my grandpa drawers. It's the little things, I guess. Update 9. Yesterday, I spoke with Sarah, Charlotte's oldest sister, and gave her a basic rundown of the affair and what led to Charlotte's hospitalization. She was in disbelief, shocked, and deeply sympathetic. Linda, my MIL, is leaving for a bus trip with her blue-haired hoe, VHH, gang tomorrow. The sisters aren't planning to tell her about the affair, only that Charlotte's condition isn't serious. Apparently, Linda is worried about me. According to my daughters, I haven't seemed myself lately. The sisters will support the kids through the hospital stay and arrange for Charlotte's care after. I called Megan, told her to pick up a check from my office, buy a card, get my signature stamp, and write a note for her grandma. Enjoy your trip. I love you. Funny how Reddit catches things you might otherwise miss. Update 10. So, about the rambling. It was errands plus that STD test. Turns out I'm clean. Amy said plain as day. No man's bringing a junk infection into this house. Charlotte's physical health is stabilizing, but psych-wise, she's convinced I'm dead. She's said to be deeply confused, crying, mumbling things no one can make out. She's just been moved to a special trauma hospital, expected to recover, but it's going to take days or weeks. Strict no contact for 10 days, with Megan as family rep for updates. I'm still at Amy's. Going to see her psychiatrist tomorrow. Her doc after Patrick died. While getting ready for bed, I discovered Amy had removed all my old white boxers and replaced them with colorful boxer briefs. The boys need support, she said, and the 60s want their ugly underwear back. Update 11. I went home Thursday night. That morning, I saw the psychologist Amy had used after Patrick died, but it was not a good meeting. Truth is, I was angry and closed off. I had to be at work for a crucial contract meeting Friday. Later, I met with my kids to discuss Charlotte's hospital release plan. I told the clinicians she couldn't come home. The rental is the only option. She's made progress in treatment, and they want family sessions soon. I told my kids I won't go. Her recovery isn't my responsibility. I promised not to file for divorce for 6 months. I sat in our usual church pew Sunday, but didn't care about seeing Dr. Thomas's family. Met again with a pastor-recommended psychologist. He's 74, wise, and the first counselor I felt comfortable with. We'll meet weekly. There's a state medical examiner's meeting at my office soon, linked to the complaint against Dr. Thomas. I'll have to give a sworn deposition. Honestly, every step I've had to take just reminds me of her betrayal. I doubt Charlotte's faking the mental breakdown, but I still can't find much sympathy. Update 12. Not much new lately, but here's a quick list. 1. Charlotte's still in inpatient treatment, voluntarily staying 30 days. She's made progress. Kids agree she needs more in-house care. I haven't spoken to her directly since December 27th. She paid for treatment with her retirement funds. 2. I haven't met with Linda. She and the sisters have visited Charlotte. Linda's called to check in on me. She's sad but stoic. 3. No word on Dr. Thomas, but his house is on the market. No idea whether he and Rachel are divorcing. 4. I've been to 2 counseling sessions now, and they've been helping. 5. The affair is basically public knowledge in our area now. 6. My children and grandkids are doing well. I'm busy at work and running Jason's re-election campaign. 7. I've noticed more attractive women lately than ever before. Not sure if that's good or bad. Update 13. Charlotte was released from treatment last Tuesday and went directly to the rental house. The place is all set up for her. New furniture, supplies, even her old housekeeper coming daily. Her sisters stay overnight. I haven't spoken to her since December 27th. She's written 2 remorseful letters. I've only told the kids to let her know I read them and will reach out when ready. Had dinner with Linda Tuesday, explained my position. She supports me. Jason says his grandmother visited Charlotte and for the first time really let her have it about her betrayal. Saturday, I'm going to Amy's for a concert trip. Her friend can't go, so I'm pinch hitting as her date. Counseling has been good, helps me organize my thinking. Update 14. Quick update on my status. I'm doing weekly counseling. It's made a huge difference in how I process all this. I'm fine by outward measure, but inside, I'm heartbroken, angry, lonely, grieving for what our marriage used to be. Questions people have asked. 1. Have I talked to Charlotte about everything? Yes, both alone and with the kids, as well as sitting in on 2 of her own counseling sessions. 2. Can I reconcile? No, because A. The affair was physical. B. She planned the trip, lied to my face, had me drop her at the airport so she could sleep with another man. C. She now requires long-term treatment, meds, counseling, all a result of her betrayal, not some random illness I would have gladly stood by her through. D. The woman I loved is gone. In her place is a broken, sad, medicated stranger. 3. I've asked my lawyer for a fair settlement agreement with total financial transparency for my children. I want them to see I'm being fair, even in divorce. 4. Charlotte remains remorseful, begging for forgiveness, unwilling to talk about divorce or settlement. 5. My kids wish I could find my way back to her, but they seem to understand my decision. Easter, which used to be a major family weekend, was spent separately by everyone. They're all searching for a new normal, just like me. Dr. Thomas is apparently now working in an ER in another state. Don't know or care much about the details. Thank you for your concern. That wraps up the whole story. Looking back over this story, it becomes clear how betrayal can unravel not only a marriage, but a whole family system, leaving everyone to pick up the pieces in their own way. The extended process of confrontation, treatment, and continued communication shows how complex and lengthy the fallout from infidelity can be. I've got a question for you. Have you ever faced a situation where the truth put your whole family at risk? And if so, did you choose to confront it directly or wait for the right moment? Would you forgive in the end?